3, 2, 1.
Welcome back, everybody. We haven't done a roundtable in a long time, and I'm sure all these guys are looking forward to it. We have a great topic tonight. New EDC gear for 2017. Now, that is kind of a general topic. We're going to talk about all gear for 2017, what people didn't like about 2016, what they're going to change in 2017. Let's start with the panel. We got Rex from Kentucky Carry, Greg from Neomag, which is a newbie on tonight's show. Hopefully he'll come back after tonight and won't be scared off.
We'll see.
we got Keystone Carry, Jared, who also works for TA Targets. He's the owner of TA Targets. Noah will be producing, of course, and Ryan from Embrace the Recoil. How you all doing?
Great. Doing great.
Good to have you. Good to have you. All right, let's get right into it. I'm going to go down the line. We're going to ask some questions. And tonight's an open forum. So, folks, if you're watching, ask questions to these guys. They got answers. If you're on the edge, about buying a particular product in 2017 and you have questions, by all means, ask them. I'm sure somebody on here on this panel has used it before or has some knowledge about it, and maybe we can help you out. So, Rex, let's start with you. 2017 EDC, what are some of the changes that you've made? What are the highlights? Let's go. I know them, but let's tell the audience what you've changed. Go ahead, Rex. Is Rex not listening?
No, I didn't hear who you said.
Oh, Rex, go ahead. Yeah.
Yeah. So things from 2016. I switched to pretty much everything. The holster I started 2016 out with, the mag caddies, everything. I switched everything except for the gun. Changed knives, changed everything.
Now the gun, you were using an M&P.
Yes.
You're still using the M&P?
Yes, but it looks nothing like it did when I started 2016.
Okay, tell us a little bit about that.
I got the slide done up by Dynamic Weapon Solutions. Hopefully that's in frame. Got it Cerakoted, got it cut up. That's really the biggest change I've done to it. Sights are still, I think I upgraded them last year. They're the Marigo Pro iDots.
Yeah, I like those.
But other than that, yeah, I mean, it's still the same gun in the core, still has the same Apex kit and everything in it. So,
knives. I know you recently upgraded to a very popular knife. Show us that.
My main carry knife is now the Colonel Blades Fullbird. It's distributed by Bravo Company. This is a full-size one. They make one that's smaller, too. It's about 3/4 the length, but, man, this knife's awesome. I love it. It's basically like everything I wish the TDI was, which is a great knife, but
yeah, sure.
I love this knife.
The smaller one, would you have wanted the smaller one after holding the bigger one, or are you glad you went with the bigger one?
For winter, I'm glad I have the bigger one because this one works really well with the gloved hand, like full winter glove. But for summer, I probably will pick up the smaller one. Okay,
cool. All right, let's move down the line. Greg, go ahead. What are you changing about your EDC? What did you pick up for 2017, or is it going to stay the same?
Well, I changed over from just carrying an M&P shield. I picked up a 19 in the fall. I'd taken a combat pistol class. And that kind of opened my eyes to if I got to take some further on shots and stuff like that, I'm going to feel a lot better with a 19 over a shield.
Sure.
So I picked that up late this year, so I'm pretty comfortable with that. I'm sure we'll get into this a little bit later, but I'm super excited to see what this new CZ P10 is going to be like.
Amen to that. I'm actually scared because I feel like I'm going to have to convert everything over because I'm going to like it so much.
I'm already getting ready for that. I think that's probably going to happen. Just from the stuff I've seen of that P10, I think it's going to happen.
Yeah, from what I hear, really good trigger out of the box. Gives the Canic a run for the money as far as trigger goes out of the box. I love CZs. I think they make – there you go, there's a Canic. I love CZs. I think they make great stuff. They've really poured it on in the last couple years, stepped up their game. Yeah, but you're absolutely right. The P10 – very, very highly anticipated.
Yeah. For sure.
Anything else you want to add to that?
I'm a huge knife nut. I own more expensive knives than any man probably should. So, I'm always buying big, expensive knives and playing with those. And I'm not really too much of a defensive knife guy. I just like carrying big knives. So
Yeah. Okay.
Yep, that's always changing. Other than that, honestly,
Amen.
that's all I always carry is a knife and a gun. Anything other than that, it's just kind of playing around with.
Okay. Jared, go ahead.
So 2016, toward the end of the year, well, you guys all know I upgraded almost everything. My carry gun stayed the same, which is a Glock 19. I switched out the sights. I went away from, I was running, they were True Glow, the Tritium hybrids. So they were the fiber optic and the Tritium, and they were just too bright. All 3 dots were illuminated, and it was really screwing me up. So I went with the Ameriglows, and they're just blacked out rear, red fiber optic front, and then I just Cerakoted the slide burnt bronze. Other than that, this is an all stock Glock. Didn't change anything with that. I did pick up, of course, one of your signets for the Delica.
Fancy!
I can shamelessly say that this is a freaking awesome knife. When Ben and Noah showed me this at first, I was a little skeptical because I thought that ring would just be hanging out of my pocket huge, but I don't know that this knife, because you guys know I'm boxing stuff all day, shipping targets out.
Sure.
So I need a knife that can not only be for cutting open packaging, but also some sort of a defensive knife. And I think this fits that role really well. Aside from that, I also built my Palmetto upper on an Anderson lower, and I've got that little 300 blackout, which everybody probably saw on Instagram, at least my followers. I got my Form 1 back today, which means 2017, I'm actually going to be spending more money. So that's what I'm excited for. That the changes that are coming to that gun are for the SBR.
Now, Jared, tell everyone how long you were waiting for that tax stamp, because I'm sure some other people have tax stamps waiting right now. What was that like?
7 months. So
Wow.
it was actually a little more, almost 7.5 months. I filed that the very beginning of June. So,
Jeez. I mean,
yeah.
I remember.
About 7 months.
Yeah, I remember when Form 1s were taking 3 months at one point, and everyone was like, oh, that's kind of long. That's not bad. But 7 months. I mean, and right after Sandy Hook, they went up. They went up to about 8 or 9 at one point, I think. But, yeah, 7 months for a Form 1. And that was e-filed, right?
Yes. And that was with a trust. So
Gotcha.
Supposedly
now, was the
speedy.
Was the e-filing easy?
Yes.
Okay.
I was actually a little scared of it because this is my first time doing anything with NFA weapons. And I filed a Form 4 at the same time, but that's a paper file. They don't offer, at least not anymore, they don't offer e-filing for Form 4s.
Right.
But, yeah, I mean, I went on the website, created my profile, entered the information. They have drop-down menus. I picked the make of the lower that I'm working with and all that other jazz. And then I took it down to Lanco Tactical, which is a local shop in Elizabethtown, Pennsylvania, to do the engraving on the lower, which was, again, painless.
Gotcha. Right.
Yeah, it was straightforward. I mean, you pay your $200 for the tax stamp. I had to photocopy in all of my trust documents, and then it was just waiting, painfully waiting.
And you're still waiting for that suppressor.
Yes. Silencer Co. Omega. So that is one of the items for 2017 that will be shown a lot on both TA Target's Instagram page, Shooting Some Steel, and on my personal page. You'll see it popping up a lot.
Okay, cool. All right. Ryan Gosling, go ahead. What'd you change? What'd you do?
So I went from the M&P to the Glock 19. This is what I carry now every day.
True believer now.
Yeah, I'm a little bit Glock fanboy now. It's just out of the box. I feel like I shoot it better. The trigger's better. I don't know. I still like the grip of the M&P more, but everything else kind of tilts towards the Glock. So I've switched over with my sidecar. I carry it now, Appendix. And then I was carrying the K-Bar TDI, but actually a friend of mine sent me a Kershaw. And this is just the knife I carry. I don't really carry knives for defensive purposes, but I like to have one on me for whatever. So, yeah, that's pretty much it. Glock 19 and a Kershaw.
Yeah, okay, cool. The Glock 19, now you said you shot it better out of the box, you think? Is that correct?
Yeah, so I carried a Glock 27 Gen 3 for a couple years when I was like 22, 23, right when I had gotten my license. And then when I went to buy a full size, I really picked a gun on hand feel because I didn't really know everything that went into trigger and trigger prep and all those things that affected your accuracy because I didn't know what I know now.
Right.
So that's why I picked the M&P. I like how it fits my hands, but I love how I can ride up higher on the Glock because it doesn't have the beaver tail. The trigger is just so much more of a cerebral feedback. Plus, you can actually feel the reset in your finger.
Sure.
Where the M&P reset is the worst thing in the world. Now I'm going to drop an Apex in the M&P and then we'll kind of go from there. But I enjoy the Glock platform more, and I shoot it much, much better, especially at distance.
Okay, with that said, let's roll right into after shooting this Glock 19, Ryan, and actually liking it. What's the next handgun purchase? Where do you go from here? Do you go smaller or are you going bigger? What are you doing?
There's a few things. So I have a shield right now, which I'm not a fan of. I have an Apex in that. And it's just, I'm not a big fan of the weapon in general. It's my girlfriend shoots it as well, and it has a safety. So she wanted a gun with a safety. So that's why we didn't go 26, Glock 26. Gotcha. My next gun is I want to get a snub. I want to get a 5-shot snub. Smith & Wesson, and then I'm probably going to add a 26 as well, just to have kind of the whole run of the, small, medium, large, but in platforms that I like. I'm not sure why I'm not crazy about the shield. I'm just not, and I know we're going to keep it for my girlfriend, but I'd like to get the 26.
Yeah, I think the 26 is a good step. I've been carrying a 26 for a while. I really like it. I know none of you guys ankle carry, but that's where it really shines for me when I have to dress up.
That's what I'm going to be doing.
Okay, cool. Yeah, so I like the 26. My EDC changes or my gear changes for 2017 are a little bit different. The stuff that's actually on my person, again, I'm going to try to make a bigger effort to carry medical on my person. WH Tactical makes a lot of great stuff. As far as that goes, Lunar Concepts has the tourniquet carrier. I think I just get kind of lazy and complacent in that area as far as medical goes, and I don't want to call it a New Year's resolution, but I would definitely like to make a little bit more of an effort to carry medical on my person. 2017, Noah and I are going to be doing a lot more long range shooting, so that's very new for us. We have really not dabbled at all in that form of shooting, so it's going to be a cool experience. Brand new, like I said. We're getting our bolt guns all rigged up and ready to go, trying to find out what ammo works, and hopefully we can get a little better at distance. Also jumping into the blackout after shooting Jared's little blackout. I just had to have one, so this is a 7-inch blackout that I recently got from Catawba Valley Armory. Runs great, super small. The biggest problem I have is getting my hand out too far and hopefully not blowing the end of my hand off. But some sort of hand stop should fix that. But blackout for this year, I'm really excited to be playing around with that and see how that goes. Suppressors and everything, blackout suppresses really well. Noah, if you have any questions, just interject right away. Do you have any yet?
Got a couple of questions here.
Okay.
Tactical Sheepdog, he has 2 questions. He wanted to know what we think of the Leatherman Rev, and then he wanted to know what our opinions were on the Serpa CQC holster.
I'll just tell you, I'm not a fan of the Serpas. I carried a Serpa for a while. I think there's better options out there now. But it's a holster. It works. It has retention. So if that's what you got, roll with it. The Leatherman Rev, I haven't played around with them too much. I don't know if any of you guys have. Have any of you guys played around with the Leathermans at all? No. But honestly, anything Leatherman does is pretty darn good. So I don't think you'll be mad for spending the money there. They make a pretty darn good product. So I have a question from Ohio 2A. He sent these ahead of time. He couldn't be here tonight, but he did have some questions for you all. Any regrets in 2016 for as far as purchases go? Is there anything that you were like, man, that was a waste of my time? And you don't have to badmouth anybody, but just saying like that wasn't for me or it broke. Anything like that. Rex, let's start with you.
I bought a pack this year for specifically designed for motorcycle riding, which if you don't know, I totaled my motorcycle in May, and now I can't use that pack anymore. So that was kind of a waste of money.
What made it a designated motorcycle pack? Did it like fit
the way
on a motorcycle?
It's designed completely different than typical bag. Typically, the way it rides right here and maybe around a waist belt. It's got extremely wide chest pieces, so it actually squeezes you from the front and from the back, so that when you're riding for hours at a time, it doesn't just wear right here. The pressure's right here, and the wind's kind of holding it up. But for walking around, it looks like you're wearing a safety vest, and you look dumb. So it's just not useful.
Okay.
But it's awesome for riding bikes.
If I had one. All right, Greg, go ahead. You got any regrets from 2016?
Not really. I think the only thing I did buy it's a tag gear. It's a big plate carrier. I didn't know anything about plate carriers, but I know I wanted one. And I bought this plate carrier, and it's huge. I mean, it's amazing, but it's just way more than anything that I'll ever use. So I ended up in the fall buying another one. So that first one I bought is probably gonna sit in my storage now.
What did you get after that one?
I got the it's one of you
Slickster?
guys. Yeah,
Slickster.
yeah. I remember talking to you guys about it.
Yeah,
that thing's awesome. I love
the
it.
Slickster. I mean, I did the same thing. I actually went through like 2 or 3 plate carriers before I got to the Slickster, and then it changed my whole perspective on life. Like the Slickster and Jared. Yeah, Jared was the same way. Jared had some, like Vietnam era.
Oh, stop.
Ben kept trying to sell me his plate carriers, and I'm smaller than he is. And I'm like, no, this thing's too big. I don't want this. I don't want this. And then when he told me I should get a Slickster, I was like, yeah, I don't believe you, until I actually saw Chris from Lunar Concepts. When I saw his, then I actually started to look at it seriously.
Ryan has one too.
Yep.
Ryan, you like yours?
Yeah. I mean, I don't wear it that much, but when I do wear it, the thing's comfortable as hell. I mean, for how heavy it is.
Yeah, and you can integrate so much stuff into it. I mean, the what was it? Spiritus Systems micro fight rig just clicks right in. That was genius. I love that part of it. The way it comes with buckles, so you don't have to shop for buckles. You already have what you need to clip in, and then you can basically integrate a chest rig if you want more, or if you don't want it, rip it off and throw it away. Who gives a shit? So I think the Slickster, just as far as a prepared civilian goes, it's pretty tough to beat. I don't know. I can't really recommend another plate carrier besides that. We did a review on it a while back. If anyone wants to reference that, check it out on our YouTube channel. But we wore Slicksters at Storm Mountain last year through other CQB courses, and they were just freaking phenomenal. Just an awesome piece of gear, very well made.
Yeah, I get to put a lot of time into it, but yeah, I'd already owned a chest rig from I think it's Haley, and that just clipped right into it, like you said. So that was great.
Yep. What is it? The D3 or whatever it is clips right into it. Now it is a Canadian company, so everyone relax. It's not American made, but they're good Canadians. They make great products. So if you get a chance, check out a Slickster from Faro Concepts. Pretty good stuff. Jared, any regrets? 2016. Go.
I wouldn't say I have any regrets. I mean, I switched plate carriers, but that was one that I had for a while, and I don't regret the other one that I had. But definitely, like you guys were saying, the Slickster just worked better for what I'm doing. I didn't need a plate carrier that filled a combat role. More of just like you said, I need something that I can grab quick out of my vehicle or wherever I might be. But other than that, I mean, that's one of the beautiful parts of being a part of a community like all of us are in, I bounced a lot of questions off of a lot of you guys and got feedback. And also, like, I shoot with Ben and Noah all the time. So when they're trying out different gear, I get a chance to see it and make more educated decisions. So I don't think I have any regrets for 2016. I feel like everything that I got, I'm still using and I still enjoy it.
Okay, good, solid. Ryan, any regrets?
I mean, the shield maybe a little bit, but I traded the
Not switching to Glock sooner should probably be your biggest regret of 2016.
Hey, I still bring them both out, and I still love shooting both of them. But yeah, daily carry the Glock for sure. And then I bought a really expensive EDC belt, and it's not really a regret, but I find that the belt I use, just normal, like a leather belt I have, works just as well for my day to day because I work from home, so I'm not like doing a lot of like high impact stuff where I'm going to need a really strong belt. And I kind of like that my leather has a little bit of give to it because it makes the holster a little bit more comfortable because it moves with me a little bit more. Where when I had the belt on, I'd have it tight and it seemed like it would just kind of like, plus I got some holiday weight, you know what I'm saying? So
I know exactly what you're talking about.
But it's not a regret because I still use it at the range and stuff. But I don't use it as much as I thought I would.
Gotcha. Okay. I have a question on Instagram from Tyler Hughes 13. What's the best battle belt setup or battle belt? I don't know if any of you guys have battle belts. I've recently got away from battle belts, like the padded belts. I went to a two-piece system from Lunar Concepts, which is a Velcro inner and then a 1 3/4 outer belt that Velcros onto that inner belt. So when I'm done at the end of the day, I basically just unbuckle, peel it off me. All my mag carriers and holsters, med kit stays exactly in place, and it just falls to the ground. And I can even use that inner belt as for EDC if I wanted to. It's probably not ideal, but it definitely works. Hold your pants up, holds a gun pretty well. But that's what I would use. I think it seems to be a trend that everyone is getting away from like bulk and going to minimalist, slick, lightweight. And the padded belts, like, they're comfortable, but they would move on me all the time. Like, they would either ride up or ride down. It was really hard to get them situated for me. And now other people might not have a problem, but I like this 2-part system from Lunar Concepts. It stays sturdy. It stays where it's supposed to be on my waist, and I don't have any issues. Jared, what were you running at Storm Mountain as far as belts go?
I was just using his foundation belt and the quickie buckle. Same thing that I have on now. I don't know if everybody can see it, but
oh yeah,
just thick, heavy duty belt. On 2017,
we just got 5 more viewers.
I can show it again if we want 5 more. No, but in all seriousness, after seeing you guys running with your 2-piece belts at Storm Mountain, I am definitely in 2017 going to be hitting up Lunar to try to get some of them. It just makes sense in a training scenario like that, like we were doing at the Minuteman course, which my belt did awesome. Don't get me wrong. It's great for EDC. It looks like a nice belt too. I think you mentioned that somewhere, Ben. I don't know if you're talking to me or talking to somebody else, but when it's brand new, I mean, it looks like a nice kind of dressy belt. But
yeah, absolutely. If you got it in a gray or a black color,
right.
I mean, at first glance, it looks like just a normal, casual, semi-dressy belt.
Yeah. And I like about his belts is you don't spend a ton of money, and you're getting a really high quality belt. Like, I've spent more money on cheaper belts, if that makes sense, like cheaper quality belts than what his belt costs. So I think it's win-win.
Yeah, definitely a win-win. Go check out Greg. What do you got there?
That was similar. This is from One Shot. And this is that's kind of the same idea. It's got the Velcro inner. Just for anybody who's watching right now that doesn't know what we're talking about, there's a Velcro inner, and then you also have a thick Velcro outer that actually has the buckle on it. Yeah, that's.
Now, is that what you use?
You know, I only use. I really only use this for USPSA and matches. For daily, I have a Aries gear. Wear that one daily. That's just a simple 1-piece, but I do agree. I love having this for competition for long days where I have a full-size gun and multiple magazines on me. You can't go wrong with something like this.
Yep, you're absolutely right. Rex, what did you use at Storm Mountain?
I used a brown coat tactical belt, solid belt. I actually just switched away from it because where the two thick pieces of webbing like overlap, the way it was sized on me, like they would do this kind of thing, and it would
Scissor, yeah.
Yeah, it was super annoying. So I actually just switched to a Lunar Concepts as well, the magnetic buckle, and it wraps back over on itself and Velcros. I love it way better. Nothing wrong with that belt. I know a lot of people run them, but I like this better.
Nice. Okay.
Real
yeah.
quick, a question regarding the belts, and then I have a couple other questions as well. But
Okay.
a question regarding the lunar belt system. They wanted to know if it was similar to the Ronin Tactics belt.
Similar, yeah. Stand by. Let me look up the Ronin Tactics belt real quick if I remember correctly. I don't want to give you misinformation. Yeah, it's kind of similar. I don't have my lunar here, so I can't really show you. The inner of the lunar belt is just really low profile. That's what I like about it. The Ronin Tactics outer belt has that D-ring buckle, which the lunar one doesn't. Like I don't really need a D-ring. I'm not repelling or anything like that. And the
he is repelling, but he's not repelling.
Yes, yeah, repelling. So it's not really the same kind of the same concepts, but there's a lot more hardware on the Ronin, which I don't need. So that's just my opinion. Do you have another question, Noah?
Well, Lunar just jumped into the chat room and said, "No, it is not."
Okay, there you go.
So, I have a question here from an Ethan Sensenig that he would like to know what we think about tactical lever guns like the Mossberg 460
Oh, God.
30.
Oh man.
It's a waste of metal. That's what I think. Actually, my brother-in-law, I think, had one or has one or sold it or something, but it ran fine. Yeah, I mean, it did everything it needed to do. It went bang, but I guess if you wanted to put a flashlight on your lever gun, go ahead.
I just can't get over the goofy, like, collapsible stock on it. That's what I mean, it looks cool besides that. I'll give it that. But
yeah.
What is it called?
It's a Mossberg tactical lever gun. Like, look it up. It's actually, I mean, it's kind of cool, but it's
got rails. I think it has fiber optic fixed sights.
For those of you who don't know, Ethan is Jared's business partner. So
that's why I was laughing.
He's the one. He's the one that you guys have seen shooting the flintlock and that stuff in videos. So
he's a real cowboy.
If you ever see a 6-shooter come out, lever guns, anything like that, you can almost guarantee it's him.
This is something you'd see on The Walking Dead for sure.
Yeah, that's exactly right. That's exactly right.
I will say I need that gun now. Not for what it's intended for, but I need that gun. That's just simple.
I got a lever action, but I don't think tactical and lever really go hand in hand.
Yeah, but Mossberg was going to make it happen no matter what.
I don't know if Mossberg and tactical go hand in hand.
No, they don't.
That is cheap. Oh my gosh.
Yeah, it's Mossberg.
Yeah. Oh man, Mossberg. You got any more, Noah?
Yeah, so Tactical Sheepdog had asked about the holster, and so he was wondering what we would recommend then for concealed carry for a Glock 17.
Wait, holster wise? Is that what he's asking?
Yep, because he had asked about the CQC that none of us liked. So he was asking what we would recommend.
Is he carrying inside or outside the waistband? It's a big gun to carry inside.
It's like my M&P.
Yeah.
Yeah. I've carried a Glock 17 inside the waistband. I mean, it's a Kydex one that Lunar Concepts made me a while ago. I love it. But G code makes a good holster right out of the box. If I ever had to go that route, I wouldn't have a problem with it. Rex, you got any suggestions for him for an inside the waistband holster, that big a gun? You carry a full size all the time.
Yeah, it's the only gun I carry. My favorite holster, bar none, is it's a light bearing holster, the Go Hard Genesis. Absolutely love it. I have 2 of them. I've had 3, and I've also had the G Code Incog, which worked really well. If he wants a hybrid holster, you can't go wrong with Alien Gear or a company out of Louisville called Everyday Holsters. They make a really good one too. I've used all of those and can verify that they're quality.
Anybody else got a suggestion as far as inside the waistband goes for a full size gun?
If I carry a big gun and I'm carrying it 3 or 4 o'clock, I usually go for a stealth gear. I just like it a lot. It's very comfortable right out of the box. In the summertime, I sweat nonstop and that thing breathes. So that's my go-to.
You can't beat the warranty on Alien Gear either, man.
Yeah, what is their warranty? Is it unconditional? Is that what it is, no matter what?
No, it's like they have those shells, and when you change guns, like you just send in your shell, and they'll send you the shell for the gun you just bought.
That's right. Yeah.
Wow. So a ton of value there.
Ryan, you carried a full size. What do you suggest?
I use for my M&P when I carried that. I had a sidecar. I had it non-light and light, and it was fine. I mean, depending on your body size, you may print a little with the grip, but I don't really care too much about printing. And I think a light compatible sidecar is a little bit better for printing, a little less comfortable, where a sidecar without the light's a little more comfortable, but it tips out a little bit with the full size. So a sidecar style holster if you want the spare mag, but if you're trying to go a little bit lighter, then that's probably not the way to go.
Okay. Robinson Outdoors from Instagram says, does Rex plan on trimming that beard anytime soon?
No.
No.
Sorry,
No.
Rex, I answered for you.
No further questions.
Lives like a half hour from me, so.
Oh, does he? Noah, you got anything else from the audience?
Couple here. EDC Training had 2 questions. First, regarding Wild Hedgehog. He was curious as to why purchase from them versus piecing together your own kit, and because of cost effectiveness. And then he was curious about running, if any of us are going to be running RMRs anytime soon, or are we going to stay with irons?
Nice. Very good question.
Great questions.
I'm going to start with the medical aspect. What I've seen from WH Tactical, if you don't want to shop around, I know for a fact that I'm going to get a complete kit.
Yep.
Like if it says advanced kit, you are going to get everything in there that you need for trauma, gunshots, that sort of thing. Like complete. There's no shopping around. You don't have to worry about it. I don't know how many times I've bought med kits and I'm like, well, I got to buy something else to add to it. They just did a great job. One-stop shop. Rex, you use them. You work with them. You love their stuff.
You can't price it out cheaper than they sell it though. That's what got me. I tried to price it out because normally you can do that with first aid kits. You can't do that with them, at least on the EDC kit. I don't know about the other ones.
Now, which one do you have there? Show that real quick.
This is the EDC kit. It's a pocket trauma kit, and then I added in just a few things, a marker, that kind of stuff. But yeah, it's in a Maxpedition pouch. Open it up.
That's the other thing. They use Maxpedition pouches. They're not using cheap pouches for these kits. I mean, like they are using Maxpedition YKK zippers, great stitching on them. They're not getting some Chinese Condor pouch. They're getting the real deal. Good quality gear for their med stuff. They do a great job. Has anyone else used Wild Hedgehog Tactical? Ryan,
Absolutely.
What thoughts?
Yep. So I got I think it's the next size up, I think, from what Rex has. And why I went that way is because I'm not that knowledgeable on the stuff. So for me to try to kit something together isn't going to make sense. And kind of like to your point, Ben, you're getting the right stuff. So then when I got it, I could research the stuff that I had gotten in the pack and how to use it. And it's a good company. They're really good when because I actually contacted them with some questions. And it was just one purchase, everything's there, and I didn't have to.
What did you get, Ryan?
I'm not sure what it's called. It's in the car right now.
It was one
but
size up from
one size up. It came in a black. It's about this
Was
big.
it the one that had the two rat tourniquets in it?
No.
I think the one with the 2 rat tourniquets is new, or is that the one?
Yeah, I've had it for maybe 8 months now.
Okay. You probably got like the Get Home Alive kit or something like
Yeah,
that.
that sounds like Did it come in a little Maxpedition like?
It's black.
Yeah.
And
I think
it's
they made
like
them in a couple colors. Yeah,
Yeah, you got the Get Home Alive.
that's the one I got a while ago, and I keep that one in my vehicle. But yeah, I think they updated. Yeah, because I got 2 of them, one for each of my vehicles, one for my wife, one for me, and then I got. I think it was called their trauma-based med kit. I don't know if they still offer that anymore, but I threw it in my Swift pack, and that I keep it in my backpack. So
Yeah,
I'm just seconding what you guys all said. I think they're awesome.
Yeah, good kits. They're complete. Even if you don't know like every piece of that kit, like Ryan said, you can research it, or maybe somebody that's going to help you out will know what pieces to use. So I think they're doing a great job. I really highly recommend.
I will say this about them. They put stuff in there that you actually need to learn what to use. It's not like a AAA first aid kit.
Yeah, that's what Noah said too.
You got to actually learn what's in it.
Yep.
Yeah, I'd probably even recommend actually going and taking a first aid class first, so you know what you need and what you're comfortable using. It just might not be a bad idea to do that.
Yeah, medical classes are usually last on everyone's list because they're not, gunfighter. You're not papowing all the time. So, but they're important. You're more likely to save somebody in a medical trauma situation than you are with your blaster. So go get medical training. I need to go do it. I'm preaching to myself too. Let's talk red dots, because that is the future of pistols, whether you like it or not. That's where everything's going. I mean, when the red dot came out for the AR, everyone was like, what the hell is this thing? Now everyone runs a dot on their AR or a magnified optic, whatever. So let's talk about it. Is that something you guys are looking forward to? Or are you going to be that 40-year-old old man that's like, back in my day, I used irons and I'm going to stay using irons for the rest of my life? Meanwhile, everyone else has auto-focused laser beam guns and you're still using your M&P. So let's start with Ryan. What do you think? Red dot, yay or nay? How do you feel about them?
maybe someday. Not right now. I think I'm still in the kind of basic, not beginner, but intermediate part of shooting my pistols. So I don't think it's something I'm going to do anytime soon. But I see the value, especially if you're shooting for longer range. If it's just getting your gun out and shooting, I don't think they're necessary. But to your point, red dot and ARs, you're normally reaching out, where with a pistol, you're not always reaching out. And a lot of people are never shooting at the distance where you may want the RMR. And the only thing I would say is if you're going to do it, don't cheat yourself with learning how to be proficient and accurate with a handgun instead of just, throwing the dot on and using that, because that's not always going to be your option. Someday I probably will have at least one pistol with one on, but probably not within the year, I would think.
And let's be honest, the price tag is kind of hard to swallow for red dots. That's probably the majority of the holdup for people. I mean, you're talking a minimum of $600 to get into a red dot. That's not even including cuts. Like if you want it milled into your slide and stuff like that,
Right.
you're probably gonna have to pay around $600. So the price tag, tough to swallow. Jared, what do you think about red dots on pistols?
I think that down the road, my answer to whether I'll get one is definitely. I don't have a whole lot of experience with them, but obviously, like you guys pointed out, both of my ARs use some form of red dot. I should say my third one does use a magnified optic, but I especially like the concept. It's going to sound silly, but there's guys that are running Glocks, like long slides or longer barreled Glocks with RMRs that use them for hunting. And that's something that our state is changed. We're one of the last states to allow semi-automatic hunting. Depending on how they regulate that next year, if I'm able to take big game with a semi-automatic, there's a very good possibility within the next year I might have a 10 millimeter or something with a red dot on it. But
Yeah, that'd be sweet.
The price tag's really what's holding me back. If it was, if you could go out and buy a $200 optic, like you can pick up an awesome Holosun and just throw it on the slide, I'd have one. But it's the price tag that's holding me back.
Yep. Greg?
I shoot a lot with guys who use them. I've shot them. I've never shot one and been like, oh man, I got to go do this. It's just not really too high on my need to do list. I probably will build one this year. Just it is kind of the way things are going, and I want to get some experience with it. But it's not something that I'm in too big of a hurry to do.
Yeah. Rex?
Yeah, I want one, but it's like you guys said, the price tag's a big issue. I looked at, and the other thing is to change the batteries. Like there are some cheaper ones, like the Vortex or whatever, but to change the battery on it, you have to take the whole thing off and re-zero it and all that kind of stuff.
Mm-hmm.
You guys, this question for the group. I just came across a company called Shield Sights out of the UK, and they came up with a red dot design that, number one, it uses standard height sights. You don't have to use suppressor height sights. And two, the battery has a little drawer that slides out the side.
Yep,
I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know anything about them.
They're newer. Like I've never used one. They look pretty slick, that's for sure. I mean, they're very user friendly. But I honestly have no time on them. They're out of the UK, right? Is that what you said? UK?
Somewhere like that. I actually
they're out of the UK.
Time ago. I had messaged them because I saw something pop up, but I don't remember. Right here.
What about the Venom? What about the Vortex Venom?
The Venom's great, but you got to take it on and off if you want to swap batteries and stuff.
And if you leave it on the whole time, it's only one.
Yep. The RMR we just got is a 7 MOA dot. Noah and I just picked up an RMR, and it has no batteries. It just uses sunlight, which is cool. But, I mean, we'll see how it works. We're not going to put it on a pistol. Technically, we are putting it on a pistol. We're putting it on a 9mm AR pistol. But that'd be the first experience we have with an RMR.
Just FYI, according to somebody in the chat room, Rolando Salgado, he has a Venom, and Vortex has changed that. And they switched it to a top loading configuration for the battery.
Oh, good to know. Thank you.
That
makes it way easier. Yeah. So Rex, you were saying you want to do it, but I mean, you're just putting it off. The money's the issue, or
yeah, the money's the issue.
Yeah.
I mean, $600 for an RMR. Like, I'm proficient with iron sights. I don't. That's cost versus benefits. Just it's not there yet.
Yeah, it's just not there yet.
So Ben, what's the argument for quicker sight acquisition plus distance? Is you're more?
Yeah, the distance you get out of it. People that have stigmatisms love it. It's easier for both eyes open shooting because it's a red dot. And yeah, that's basically the benefits of it. People want more out of their guns. The distance. I agree. I don't think the distance is important for a pistol, and there'll be people that disagree with me. But I mean, like Rex said, the cost versus the benefits isn't there. Would I rather take $600 in ammo and get better at shooting with my irons, or would I rather pay $600 for an RMR sight so I can stretch out a little bit further proficiently?
I will say I want one before I get old.
Okay. All right. Yeah.
Fair enough.
Fair enough.
I shot with Ohio 2A, and he has one. And when it comes to distance, as we walked out, he's definitely way more accurate than I am when it gets farther out. But closer in, there's no difference.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was shooting with him once, and I saw him ringing steel at 100 yards with that thing, and I'm like, I'm not even going to attempt that with my irons. So if I had to take a 100-yard shot with my pistol, I guess I wish I had one.
Yeah. The distance is what you get out of a red dot, which is, if that's what you want, sure. But I'd rather put the money into training. I think training is so valuable, which kind of leads us into our next topic. Is anyone going to be doing any cool training in 2017? Let's start with Rex. You got anything on the books?
I don't have anything on the books yet, but I definitely it's in the works.
Okay, cool. Very cool. Greg?
Yeah, I'm probably going to be doing quite a bit this year. My schedule
Nice.
is going to be it's going to be a little more fluid this year. I'm lucky to work very closely with a local guy who owns his own training company. I got another guy down in Columbus. I got a couple of guys that I'm going to be spending some time with this year.
Now, are you going to be rifle focused, handgun focused, a mix of everything, or what?
Probably mostly handgun, but I really want to get more proficient with my rifle. So I'm definitely going to make a focus to get in more training with my rifle.
Cool. A little bit of a plug, Minuteman 2 this year. If you want to get good with a rifle, come on out. We're mixing vehicles into the equation this year. So if you want to get some vehicle time, shoot through some glass, that sort of thing.
Oh, hell yeah.
Come to Minuteman 2. That's all I'm going to say for right now. But if you want to get some solid rifle time and pistol, come to Minuteman 2. Jared, what do you got on the books for 2017?
Well, you just mentioned briefly the one that's on the books. I'd like to do something else, and I don't know if I'm going to be able to swing it. This year's going to be kind of a crazy year. But, I mean, as opportunities come up, if I have the cash and I have the ammo and the time, I'm going to do it.
Yeah.
I really would. I mean, I'm kind of jealous of you guys. I mean, I'm kind of going to cut you off a little bit, but, like, the long-range stuff, I'd really like to tag along, and maybe I can make that happen. I don't know yet. But that would require me investing a little more into my 1308. But, you know, we'll see.
That'd be a great gun to take the class with, though.
Yeah, it's tempting. It's always money. It's always, it's either time or money. It's one of the two. And, I do know the value of training. And that's, like you said, one of the things that I don't have a whole lot of experience with is a long-range rifle. So we'll see.
Yeah.
But definitely the Minuteman course.
Nice. I always love it when I get the question, so is training, like, really worth it? Like, do you really get anything out of it in that 2 days?
Absolutely.
Like, if you go to a professional trainer, it is night and day. Like, I cannot emphasize it enough. I'd rather have, one gun, one handgun, and one rifle and take a bunch of training than have a bunch of guns.
Yep.
That's all I can really say. Because, I mean, if you take a 2-day course with a good trainer, find a reputable trainer, and, learn, write stuff down, take stuff away from it, you will come out a better shooter. There's no doubt in my mind. I don't think anyone on this panel will disagree with that, but go train. Like, it's fun. You're going to have a blast. You're going to have a good time. Ryan, any training 2017? Go.
I have a pistol fundamentals with Kawa, 2 Alpha to quit, and then I have a CCW class the following month with 2 Alpha. So 2 little bit different classes. One's just shooting, and one's from concealment. That's the 2 I have scheduled as of right now, scheduled and paid. But I would like to take a ton, honestly. I know there's a lot of inefficient things that I do, so I'm trying to take it a lot more serious than I have been.
Yeah. Cal is a great person to train with. 2 Alpha to quit on IG. Go follow him. Wealth of knowledge. Good guy too. Noah and I are taking long range 1 at Storm Mountain, May 26th through the 28th. We'll get all the way out to 1,000 yards in that class. It's a beautiful facility. If any of you guys get a chance to get out there, go to Storm Mountain. We'll be doing that. Probably maybe some CQB courses again. Definitely do it Minuteman 2, obviously. I'd like to get a medical class in. Noah wants to take this clandestine course. What is it called, Noah?
Clandestine carry or clandestine survivability, but I mean it's like a 5-day course where they do knife fighting, hand-to-hand combat,
nunchucks,
extreme close quarters pistol work. It's gonna have UTM man marker rounds, so you're actually gonna be getting shot by people and shooting people at close range. So it's going to be a pretty serious class.
Yeah, 5 days of training.
Yeah.
That would be awesome. Yeah, so training in 2017, everybody that's watching, go do something. Like, just go. Budget it out. There's always a way. Sell glass bottles to recycling. Donate blood. I don't care what you do. Go figure it out.
The thing with, if you're going to do any training, especially if you've never taken any, which I hadn't taken any, a basic fundamental course, if you're not really proficient with a firearm, is going to blow your mind with the things that they're telling you that seems like it's stupid stuff that you think you probably should have known already, that they're going to tell you, and you're going to be like, oh my God. And it's going to help your shooting so much more with just this little bit of information. And it's definitely worth it. Just with like trigger prep and all that stuff that you're not even probably thinking about till someone tells you, and it'll change the way you shoot.
Yep, you get a second pair of eyes on you that knows what they're talking about, and they can really make a difference. Yep. Noah, you got any more questions?
I do. I had a question from Leah about EDC bags. Do we actually carry EDC bags? And she said what she meant by that was, do we actually have a bag on us or with us, like in the car or something like that, that has the things that we need at all times?
Yes, I do. I carry a gray Ghost Gear Stealth Operator pack. Great bag. Has a concealed carry compartment. We'll go right down the line here. Rex, what bag you got there?
Can I, whatever that city's name is, Legion Pro Day Pack. It's awesome.
Wow, that's nice.
Yeah.
It's roomy.
It has everything.
How long have you had that?
I've had it for maybe a month or two. And there's my favorite part. It's got a concealed carry compartment back here where I keep my Canic. So you can see a little Max Edition holster. The magazine just went flying. And on the shoulder, Lunar Concepts, TQ.
Nice. Greg, what do you got, man?
I got a 511 Rush. I love this pack. I've been carrying this for probably 4 years. About every day, I take a. It's pretty much always with me. It's got a pocket in the back. You see in there. I got a holster, a couple mags in there, just in case I need to put my gun somewhere. But it's nice just having some extra mag. But
how's it holding up? You said 4 years now. Is it holding up?
4 years, almost daily. If you guys can see it pretty close, it holds up fantastic. No tears, no buckles broken, nothing. This thing's, it's been amazing.
Yeah, I've only heard good things about those packs. Solid choice. I like Jared's option too. Jared, what do you use?
I am using this Vertex bag. I think it is for Vertex. I think it's called their EDC Commuter. I always get them screwed up. The one that's like more of a sling, but you'll see this is a single strap. Lift it up here, so it goes across your chest, which I like. I picked this bag because I didn't want to look tactical, if that makes any sense. I really wanted to blend in. This looks like it's designed for a college kid to carry like a laptop or something, but I do honestly every single day. I just put it in to show everybody, but I do carry my 300 Blackout broken down every day.
That's some James Bond stuff right there.
Yep.
But I also in the front pack, in the front pouch, I have medical. I carry 2 33-round magazines, 2 17-round magazines, and usually my little 38 special. And it seems excessive, but it's also my range bag. So I actually do take this. And you guys have seen me at the range, Ben. This is the first bag that comes out of the Jeep. But Rex and I were actually just joking around the other day in private chat, because if for some reason my bag ever needed to be searched, it would be a little hard to explain.
Yeah.
I mean, my occupation with testing targets, I always have ammo, always have guns, and so that's one of the reasons, but also just to be prepared.
Ryan, have you switched away from the purse to an actual backpack yet?
Nope, still got that purse, son.
Yeah.
No, I do not carry a bag. So everything that I carry with me, I carry on my person.
Very cool. Noah, hit us with some questions. We don't got much time left.
Okay, real quick, the thoughts on carrying an AR as like a truck gun, etc. Like, if you do it, do we do it? How do we store it, transfer it from the house to the car?
I say yes, only because of where I live. I live in the country. Like I live, it's very rural, so I keep a rifle in the car or a pistol from time to time. Not all the time, but I definitely keep it in there. Plus, I'm always going to the range. Like Noah and I go to the range probably 2-3 times a week, so it's just in there. It's handy. Will you ever have to go to that? Hopefully not. I know Jared, as you just saw, carries the blackout with him. That's a little handy truck gun. Rex, you're actually a really good person to talk about this topic because you were kind of going back and forth about it, right?
Who did he say?
Rex.
Oh,
Rex.
I say no. I say
You need
no.
to wear hearing protection, Rex, so your ears don't
Like,
go
yeah,
bad.
What?
I'm just too tall. Your voice doesn't carry that high. I say no. Don't carry an AR. I say carry an AK.
In your truck, right?
Yeah. I actually do when I go on road trips, and I know I'm going to be staying. I actually do through the AK and the gun and the truck, but I still am not 100%. Like I live out in the country too, but like just yesterday or 2 days ago, we had 2 break-ins in broad daylight, about a mile down the road from me. So I'm still not comfortable leaving it in there all the time. If I know where I'm staying, if I can bring the gun in with me, yeah. But if not, I still probably just a mental block, but I just can't do it.
Yeah. If I ever go on a trip, I'm taking a rifle. That's for sure. So, Greg, what do you got?
I picked up a Beretta CX4 and PX4. They both take the exact same magazine, same caliber, so I can have. These are 40.
Okay.
This is actually the only 40s I own. I won a 9mm, but I came across a good deal on these, picked them up. This thing is a tack driver. I can put this in anybody's hands and they'll be running one ragged hole with this gun. It's phenomenal. It just runs nonstop. And the fact that
they shoot well.
And the fact that this gun takes the same magazines, I can just load up my vest or my plate carrier in the car with those magazines and go in with both of these and be able to run them both.
Yeah, that's actually a good option. I haven't seen one of those in a while. For those of you that are thinking about the 9mm full size rifles or pistols are really popular right now. 2016 made a big push for the AR pistol caliber carbine, so to speak. So there's a lot of options out there if you wanted to go something that was compatible with your concealed carry gun. That's a great point, Greg. That's an interesting little setup you got there. Noah, hit us with another one.
Could I say one more thing on that topic, Ben?
Sure, go ahead.
I don't know every state, but I do know it's something that might be worth mentioning for anybody watching. It's in Pennsylvania. The reason why we carry AR pistols rather than a regular carbine in Pennsylvania, our license to carry does not cover over to a long gun. So AR pistols we're able to have concealed in our vehicles as an option. So, because I mean, the idea of a truck gun in my mind is something that you could get to quickly. Just keep that in mind. Check your laws, because some states do not consider a long gun covered underneath your carry permit.
Yeah,
Just
mine. That's why I don't deal with it. Mine is not a good state for it.
Yeah, that's a great point, Jared. That's why the AR pistol allows you to kind of skirt that rule a little bit. We'll take one more and then we'll do closing thoughts. Noah, you got one more for us?
Just one real quick and one statement. Lunar jumped in here, mentioned that Suarez has a really nice write-up on red dots, and that they recommend the Shield site. So just something to consider as you're thinking about that. And also, Rolando had mentioned that by the time it was all said and done with the Venom and his cuts from Jagerworks or Jagerworks, I never know how to pronounce it. Jagerworks.
Like Jägermeister.
Sorry, guys, that I butchered that for you, but he was into it all said and done for under $400.
Oh, that's not bad
at
all.
Red dot. So Just something to think about. And then we had a question regarding training, whether any of us were familiar with Valor Ridge. He was thinking about going there for some long range stuff, and was curious what our thoughts were on that.
Very familiar with Valor Ridge. Great school for AKs, honestly. Rex, that's in your backyard, isn't it? Isn't it nearby you?
It's on the other side of the Tennessee-Kentucky border, so a little ways away.
Same thing. Yeah.
Yeah, pretty much.
It's not like
We're
Kentucky's
a lot
huge or
smarter
anything.
than they are. Dude, I've watched every single Reed Hendricks, the guy who runs Valor Ridge. I've watched every one of his videos. I love that guy. His training stuff doesn't like blow me away with what he says, but he thinks about what he says before he says it. So I appreciate that in a trainer.
He's great on the Constitution, honestly. He's great on history, the Constitution, the rights of the citizen, the responsibilities of the citizen. He's really great on that stuff. If you get to see those videos, go check some of those videos out.
And he was like a Marine and a cop and everything.
He was a Marine. Yes, he did serve. So he knows his way around a gun, I'm sure. Used to work for Tactical Response.
I just had 2 questions, if we think we can fit them in. Drawbacks to a Glock 22 with a 9mm conversion barrel for versatility in comparison to just a Glock 19. And then also a question was directed mostly towards Jared, but about that he changed from hip to appendix in 2016, and were there Carrie, and were there any pros or cons in doing so?
Jared, why don't you knock that one out quick?
Pros. Ben kind of introduced me to the appendix world. I would say the benefit of that is my speed increased, but by no means am I super focused on being a sub-second shooter. But I immediately noticed a more natural feel when I went for my gun.
Your hands are like just naturally right here.
They're right in front of you. I just feel like I can lift my shirt, get my gun, get out, get on target much quicker. I still sometimes carry around the between 3 and 430, and I use an Alien Gear cloak tuck for my Glock 19. I would say that's more comfortable if I'm doing a lot of like bending over, any kind of picking up. I'd say that's more comfortable. It does print more. Appendix, the only drawback that I ever see with it personally is when I'm, bending over a lot or sitting down for a really long time. Which I do. I mean, with my job, 1 minute I could be out in the shop, the other minute I could be in my office. Shut up, Ben. Go home. But yeah, I don't know.
For work.
Yeah, for work. But yeah, I don't know. So yeah, I did make that switch. I'm not leaning one. I lean 90% appendix, 10% the other way.
Okay.
Yeah.
Real quick on the conversion barrel for the 22, just go to 9mm. Don't get a conversion barrel for versatility between 40 and 9, unless you have like an exorbitant, like a ton of 40 lying around and you just can't get rid of it. Just make the switch to 9. Noah kind of had the same issue. And he was all in 40 actually with all of his Glocks. And it just made more financial sense to just get conversion barrels instead of selling those Glocks. So he sold one gun and got conversion barrels for all his Glocks, if that makes sense. Now he runs only 9mm. He has the option if he wants to run 40, but I mean, no, you rarely ever run 40, right? Yeah. Okay.
No, I don't think I've shot 40 in it since I got the barrels. But I agree. If you already have the 22 or a 23, go ahead and get the barrels. There's then you just have it. If you are buying it, just go ahead and get 9.
Yeah. All right, let's do closing thoughts. Go down the line. Rex, where can they find you?
You can find me at Kentucky Carry on Instagram. There you go.
What about YouTube?
Rex,
what about
YouTube.
YouTube?
Oh yeah, I'm on YouTube now as well. Same name.
Rex.
Too many social medias. 2.
Go check out Rex. Go check out Rex on YouTube. He does some great stuff over there. Definitely go sub. Greg, where can they find you?
They can find me Facebook, Instagram. I'm on Twitter a little bit and YouTube at theneomag.com.
Cool. Very cool. Jared?
If you're in the market for some awesome steel targets, hit us up at TA Targets on Instagram or check us out on Facebook. And if you just want to see all the crap that I screw around with, check out at Keystone Carry. I'm on Facebook and Instagram.
Ryan?
Instagram and only Instagram.
Yeah. Embrace the recoil. Go check them out. Everyone, thank you for joining the roundtable. We're going to make this, we're going to try to do this a lot this year. Sorry for the little bit of lag in the roundtables. Holidays came in and everyone got busy and stuff like that. Please sub to the channel. We appreciate every little bit of support. Go check us out on Instagram and Facebook. Thank you to the panel. Thank you for all the guys coming out, and we'll see you on the next roundtable, everybody. Catch you later.
See you guys.
See ya.
We out.